Hey, what's going on today, Cam?
Oh, so much, Mitch. How are you?
I'm doing good. We are recording at a weird time for us tonight.
Yeah, it is Inner Dialogue After Dark.
It
These are the
is,
best episodes.
yes, it is 8 o'clock. And I won't say that I've had a little bit of a rum and coke before coming on the show, but but that might have happened. So it's good stuff.
Oh, it is good stuff. It's
And
delicious. And it's Friday night, and we're
it's
just
Friday night.
chilling, man.
And I got a Brewer game off to my right here as they're playing the Marlins. So
What's the score?
it's tied up at goose eggs yet. So
All right.
bottom of the fourth,
As our friends across the pond would say, it is 0-0.
0-0 as it is.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's the soccer commentator's version of that.
So this should be a fun show because we are going to flip the script a little bit tonight, and we're gonna have some fun. We don't have anything really planned to talk about. So
Yes, we are engaging in what is known as improv, Mitch.
improv is the rule. Yes. So that should be fun. And it is my birthday tomorrow, so I'm pretty excited about that.
October the 1st.
October 1st, baby. Best month
I didn't
of the
realize
year.
our birthdays were that close.
When's your birthday?
September 15th.
Oh yeah. Right on.
Oh, I am recently 36.
And I am about to turn 46.
We are a decade apart.
We are
What do you know?
apart. Yep.
I never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
Never. Never.
No, is it I'm young at heart or you're an old soul?
Probably a little bit of both, but more so I would not have guessed you were 10 years older than me. I would have thought maybe 4 to 6.
Yeah, so we average out at 41. Is that?
Uh-huh. That's fair. I have enough gray to support that age.
Right. And even though I shave my head, I have enough gray to support 46. So yep. It's mostly in my beard, but
yeah, we come by it honestly.
Yep.
My dad is 60.
Mm-hmm.
And up until recently, I had more gray than he did.
Yeah.
And it bothered me deeply. But he has since caught up and surpassed me in both the hair and beard regions with his gray. So I feel less awkward that my 60-year-old father has less gray than I do.
So my wife calls it the distinguished look.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She's right about that.
Yep. She likes her men. She always refers to her favorite men as 50 blue-eyed guys. 50-year-old blue-eyed guys. So she likes the gray hair, she likes the blue eyes, you know. It's a look of experience.
The look of experience. That's got to be the tagline for some like luxury company, right? So and so. The look of experience.
Yes.
Aqua show.
Oh, it's going to be a fun night tonight. I can tell it already.
Yep. I am ready to go, man.
So
chit-chatting.
So we have a crazy idea. We're going to start out with what's delighting us tonight. Oh, hold on. What did I do? Oh, goodness. All right, let's try that again. We're going to start off talking about what's delighting us tonight. All right, I got it right that time. Good grief.
Nailed it. First time, Mitch. Nailed it.
Nailed it. I am not editing out any of that.
Perfect.
So
got to show them how the sausage is made. So, sir,
you betcha.
What's delighting you today?
Well, since we're flipping the script, I'll go first tonight. It is fall. It is leaning into fall hard right now, and I'm super excited about it. So we have had all of our overnight lows coming in the upper 30s, lower 40s. I think those are the forecasts for this next week for sure. We've had some 60s and 70s in the forecast lately for highs, which I'm gonna say boo on that, but but I've been loving the last week has been a lot of 50s for highs, and that is right in my wheelhouse. I'm enjoying that quite a bit. If we have any listeners out on the West Coast, they're probably like, yeah, that's freezing, because they're used to the warmer temperatures. But yeah, it's good. I like this weather.
Yeah, we do like a good fall in the Midwest, don't we?
We do. If you can't wear a sweatshirt or a sweater, it's just not right.
Are you really living?
Yeah, are you really living? Exactly.
No, you're just sweating. That's what you're doing.
Right. And speaking of which, I have a new sweatshirt on.
I so wanted to ask you about this.
Me so corny. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So when we were on vacation, we can talk about this a little bit later. But when we were on vacation, we stopped at the Corn Palace in Mitchell, South Dakota. And my mom and my sister was like, "You have to buy that sweatshirt." So it's a cartoon corn cob that says "Me so corny," and it's the Corn Palace, Mitchell, South Dakota, written right below that. So
the city, of course, was named after you. This is well known U.S. history.
Obviously,
yes. Me so corny. Yikes! But
it was
you got to hit that C hard, man.
Yep. Me so corny.
Yep, it's got to be a hard C there.
Yep. Got to be careful you don't make it sound too soft.
All right.
All right. Anyway, what's delighting you today, sir?
Photography and cameras and gear and all that stuff. So the reason that we are recording on a Friday evening, getting a little inner dialogue after dark going on,
right,
is because tomorrow I am shooting a wedding all the day long.
Sweet.
I'm leaving my house at 10:30 in the morning, which is not early. It's fine. I can sleep in, get prepared, do my stuff. It's good. I'm already packed. Went through my list 3 times. But I won't get home until 9:30. So it's going to be a very long day. Some of that due to travel. But I am the only shooter on this wedding. No second shooter, no video, just me. So if I miss it, it doesn't get its picture taken. There's no do-overs at weddings, right? I can't be like, excuse me, can you kiss your bride for the first time again? Because I missed right. that picture. And I'm just excited. I got a new light. My mom wanted to buy me something for my birthday to be, even though I'm 36, she still wants to get me things for my birthday, which I admit feels weird because like I'm a real adult, like with a job and a 401k and a savings account and, like adult things. So I was like, okay, buy me this light for video and photo. And she goes, okay. And so I get to test this new light out tomorrow because flash photography is not my jam. I don't like it. I think it looks fake. So I don't know. I'm excited. It's fun. I'm anticipating the pressure of being the only shooter. I'm also excited because weddings are just fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone is in a good mood at a wedding until they get too drunk and then they're really angry.
Yeah.
At the second cousin who did something back in high school in 2007. Like up until that point, it's fun. And I'm leaving at 8:30. And we all know that point happens at about 10:47 at night. So I got 2 hours clear of, the drunk cousin ruining everything. But I just, obviously photography is something that I care a lot about. I'm passionate about. I have my own company that I do this stuff through. But it's exciting and I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. It's going to be perfect weather. It's going to be high as 68, no clouds, just a perfect fall day here. And I'm excited about it.
Mm-hmm. It's
going to be fun. And the people that are getting married are super chill, just really down to earth, just nice people. So I'm not worried about, the stereotypical bridezilla or what, like, they're just cool, nice, easygoing people. It's going to be barring anything crazy happening, it's just going to be a fun day.
Yeah.
And I can just take pictures of it and they're paying me to do it, which is like icing on the cake.
Right.
So that's what's delighting me, Mitch.
Sweet. So no, that sounds really exciting. And we can dovetail a little bit into, we've talked about the shift cam.
Yes. I want to know
accessory.
how it worked.
this was awesome. I took probably 2 to 3 times the number of pictures that I would have taken had I not had this. So if you've listened to the show before, we have talked about this a little bit in the past. Basically it's a grip that you put your phone into, and it becomes your shutter button. You know, it's a good, nice little grip.
Ergonomically, it functions like a DSLR or mirrorless camera does. Right.
And it's got the angle on it that you would have on a DSLR. So it's very comfortable to shoot with. And it's got a backup battery built into it. So if you're doing a lot of shooting, you can just flip on the backup battery, and it's a wireless charging. So it's got Qi charging built into it. Mm-hmm. And it keeps the phone charged all day while you're out shooting as well. So
nice.
Yeah. And what really worked nice is that I put the phone into the shift cam. And as we were walking around looking at stuff, I actually was able to just stick it in my pocket with the grip setting outside of my pocket. And then anytime I wanted to grab it, I just grabbed it out of there, threw my hand into the nice little strap that's on it. And I didn't have to worry about dropping it. You know, we did a buffalo safari where we were riding in this Jeep that was all open. It was like a long stretch Jeep, almost like a limo Jeep. And we were driving around, and I never had to worry about losing my phone because it was strapped right to my hand, and I could sit and I could just shoot pictures as we were going. And it was just so convenient compared to holding your camera in that awkward, like, okay, I'm going to take pictures. Got to turn around the right side, right way here. I'm going to take pictures, and I got to be careful not to drop my phone while I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. It was great.
How does it, when you slide it into the grip, does it connect via like a lightning thing, or how does it? Oh, you said it was Qi charging.
Yeah, it's Qi charging. So
is it just friction that holds it in there?
Yep, it holds it in.
And you can even do it with your case on.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yep. So actually, it worked better with my case on because the friction that I have, I've got a Apple Silicon case on it, and
that would
on
be
my
a
phone.
ton of grip. Yeah.
So it gives a nice grip so that it doesn't pop out. And then right on the inside of this is 2 buttons. One of them turns on the Bluetooth, which connects so that you can use the shutter button on the grip, and the other button turns on the Qi charging. So you can charge the phone as you're running around.
And it rotates too, so you can rotates. So I forgot about that.
Yep.
That's a nice feature.
Yeah, it's sweet. It works really nice.
Do you get some TikTok videos in while you're out there, Mitch?
I'm afraid not. I did get some video of a pronghorn chasing his harem back into the herd, because he had like three females that he was courting for the rut. And apparently the way that works is that they will sometimes want to run away, and they herd him back into the harem. So there was like 10 minutes we were sitting there watching this process where one would try to escape, and he would run over and herd her back into the harem. And it was really entertaining to watch. I got a little video of that. So it was
so glad that's not how humans operate.
Right.
I don't have that level of cardio or the patience.
Right. I'd be like, you know what? Go ahead. I'm good.
Yep. You love it. You got to let it go.
Yep. But to talk about the vacation, it was really cool. Like I went in with very little expectation. We were just going to spend time with family and have a good time. And we ended up seeing things, and I sent you some of the pictures. Seeing things
really cool
that were just amazing. Like we went up on Needles Highway in Custer State Park in the Black Hills, and I saw things that I hoped that I was going to see some cool stuff on this trip. I had no idea how cool of this stuff. I mean, we were up as about as high into the mountains in the Black Hills as we could get. and just looking out for miles and miles out from where we were, and they call them the needles because they have these rock structures that stick kind of straight up in the air. And when you're driving through Needles Highway, you're basically driving through those. So my recommendation is if anybody goes to the Black Hills, drive Needles Highway. It's 100% worth it. This was my favorite thing that we did in the whole week, and stop at every one of the overlooks that you have an opportunity to stop at, because you will not only get some really cool pictures, but just being in that space is just incredible.
I can only imagine. I've not been out there, but the pictures were, I mean, it's cinematic.
Oh, absolutely.
In its scope, and it's in the dynamic range between the colors and the size and it is, the pictures were stunning. I can only imagine what it would have been like just be there.
Yeah.
You know?
And you stand there and you just can't believe that you're in that place. It's just amazing.
I mean, funny is probably not the right word, but like there are people that will go there and will look at that and will experience that and go, yeah, this is all a mistake.
Right.
You know? And so I just think as Christians, it's an opportunity for us to see something of that magnitude and go, this isn't a mistake.
No,
this was created by a God with an amazing imagination and desire for creativity and beauty.
Yeah.
You know, I just think it adds even more. Like, I think when I was at the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland, or the Cliffs of Insanity, if you're a Princess Bride fan, and just seeing the sheer size and scope of the cliffs and the ocean, and just like this, it's truly one of those moments where you just stand in awe of, like, I'm a kid from the Midwest. Like, we have water and trees and they're beautiful, but nothing compared to these just absolutely epic scenes. And to know that it's not just in a movie, it's in real life. This actually exists. It moves you, you know? Really cool.
And we went and saw Mount Rushmore while we were there.
How was that?
Which was cool. You know, as someone who's, you know, not terribly political, there was a lot of stuff that kind of got lost on me, but it was cool, you know. And of course,
I've never been, I've only seen pictures, but like when you're there, like, what's the scale? Like when you're standing there, are you like, holy cow, those are massive? Or you're like, oh, it's not as big as I thought.
I would say it probably falls closer to that's not as big as I thought as it is. Those are massive. It's big, don't get me wrong, but I think sometimes, you know, I think we probably have a mental image of how, like, huge this is. And I don't think it is quite as big as my mental model had it.
Yeah.
So,
and for the record there, folks, we were talking about Mount Rushmore and nothing else.
Absolutely.
There's a mountain with people's faces carved in it. That is what we're talking
This is after dark, but we are not we are talking about Mount Rushmore. You started laughing, and I'm just I'm just going to keep rolling.
Help myself, because out of context, Mitch, out of context, that's a totally different conversation.
Oh, we might have to pull the show title out of that.
Yeah. Okay, no more jokes. Let's move on.
Okay. We need to record at night more often.
Yeah, we are more fun. We?
But then we went to Wounded Knee after that.
Oh, how was that?
And you know, it's only, they only have really the head carved out of that, but they have a 15-year plan right now to finish Wounded Knee. And if they finish it the way that they've got it planned, it is going to be stunning when they're done. It is really neat. So I'm excited to see, you know, where that goes. And I might have to go back in 15 years if they do finish it, just to see that, because that's epic. You know, you talk about Mount Rushmore kind of being big, but not being as big as you think. Wounded Knee is huge. Like it's on a scale that you can't even imagine. That arm, I don't know if you've seen pictures of this, but they've got the face done and they've got the arm that sticks out from the face that is partially carved at the top. If you go at the right time of day and you pay extra money, you can go up on that arm and view from up there. And the people look like ants on that arm. It is just crazy how big that arm is sticking out. So it is pretty epic. So the face is at least as big as the faces on Mount Rushmore, if not just a little bit bigger.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. See, I'm learning so many things, Mitch.
Yeah. We did the tour. I don't know that it's necessary if anybody goes to see Wounded Knee to take the tour. It's like $4 per person. So it's not like it's super expensive to go. But they just take you down in a bus down closer to it. And then they tell you stories and they tell you a little bit more about it and all that kind of stuff. So, it was interesting, but I don't know that it's, you're not seeing a whole lot more than what you can see from the visitor center. So, but it was good. We had fun.
Very cool.
I will tell you that one of my apprehensions going on this vacation, my dad's got Parkinson's, and that's part of the reason that we were going, is to kind of give him an opportunity to go on this really cool trip. And, he's still mentally able to really appreciate this stuff. And I saw my dad like 90% back to where he was. That it was really encouraging to me that like when he gets excited about something, like he's right there, he's still in there, still going strong. It was really encouraging to see that because, on the serious side of it, my fear was that it was going to be a lot of taking care of him, making sure that he was doing okay. Like he was so excited to be there that like he was just, we went to Devil's Tower in Wyoming one day. It was about 2 hours from Rapid City where we were staying. And we drove out there and they've got a 1.3 mile walk that you can do or hike that you can do around Devil's Tower. And so we decided to do that. And my mom's got some physical challenges, herself, just leg issues. And she's, I hope mom's not listening, but she has some challenges as far as not being as in shape as she could be. And so she did a lot of sitting along the route. And that was fine. It took us probably a little over 2 hours to actually do the whole walk. My dad was like, "Hey, let's get going. Let's go. Let's do this." And he's just like, and he's not the fastest guy in the world. He does kind of the shuffle step, if you've seen somebody with Parkinson's, it's really common with them to do kind of a shuffle step. But man, he was shuffling along like nobody's business. And he only stopped when my mom needed to stop and rest. Otherwise, man, he could have handled that without a problem, and I'm looking at him, dude, careful. You're going real close to the edge. Oh, because my sister and I were kind of watching over my parents as we were on the vacation. And so I was behind my dad and I was kind of making sure that he was staying on the path. Cause he could have easily just like stepped on the edge of the path and like fallen or something. And I'm like, I gotta be careful. I gotta watch and make sure that dad's okay. Dude, he was doing fine. Like I didn't need to watch him. He was rocking and rolling. So it was good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I left the vacation really encouraged that he was doing all right. So it's good.
It's hard to watch your parents age though.
It can be for sure.
Like my dad has always been. My mom's a whole different story because she's got MS and she's in a wheelchair and her body is, she little to no function that she has control over.
Right.
But that's been the case, for a while. Doesn't make it suck less. We're just used to it more.
No, I feel it.
But my dad has always been just a bundle of energy and just go, 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 go. You know, just work and play and work. He just, and loud and boisterous and, you know, the life of the party, and just always looked younger than he was.
Yeah.
Always. Baby face, like, you know, all of it. And I was home the last time I was home this summer. It was the first time I looked at my dad and I went, "Oh, you look old."
Yeah.
First time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the weirdest moment. Because like we were joking earlier about, you know, him finally passing me in the gray area and all that sort of stuff with the hair and everything. But like just his face looked old and I was just like, oh, I don't know how to handle this. This is a new emotion. This is a new feeling. I've never, you know, and he's only 60.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he's got, you know, a pretty good stretch in front of him. But man, it was just that first time, because my mom has looked old for a long time. She went gray when she was like 14, right? You know, and with MS, you know, your body just is in a world of hurt. But seeing that on my dad for the first time it was a very sobering moment of like, oh man, there will be a time in the future when I am the man of the family.
Yeah.
And that is a weird thing to consider.
So years ago, my wife and I had a conversation. So I was at work and I had this grandiose idea that I was going to move up in the company. I was going to eventually get into the training department in the company, which would mean that I would have to move down to Atlanta to work in Atlanta and do everything down there, which at the time I was like, well, that'd be cool. Like I would really appreciate the opportunity to work with this team because it's something that I was passionate about. And I got passed over for what they refer to as high potential training, which was kind of the next step that I needed to move into the, you know, to be promoted from where I was.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of spurred me to go home and have a conversation with my wife. So we started talking about it and I started realizing, okay, well, if you look at the time frame that I'm going to have as far as like, okay, well, I, you know, get into an assistant store manager position and I work my way into a store manager position. Then I worked my way into maybe like a district manager position, which then would put me in the place of being able to move into this position that I want. I started doing the math and I'm like, you know, I could be in my 60s before I get there. And then I started doing the math about how old my parents were going to be when I got to that point. And I actually looked at my wife and I was like, I can't go anywhere. You know, my sister's living in Tennessee. My parents live about an hour from me here in Wisconsin. Who's going to take care of my folks if I'm living in Atlanta, my sister's living in Tennessee? And it's like, you know what? I need to be here. You know, I'm the eldest of the two of us. So I kind of feel like some of that falls on me anyway. And of course, being the male of the two of us, between me and my sister, I kind of felt like, you know what? I kind of have to be here. So I basically totally changed my career path based on the fact that my folks are going to need me, you know, probably sooner than later. I mean, they're already calling me and saying, hey, can you come over for the weekends so that we can, you know, clean out the gutters or, because my mom doesn't want my dad up on a ladder anymore. And
which is a reasonable thing.
Oh, totally reasonable.
You know,
there's some work that needs to be done on a step out in the back of the house. That's just basically tacking a new board in, really. But she's like, yeah, I really like you to come and work with Dad on that, and so that we can get that done correctly and stuff. And so there's stuff already that, you know, I'm being called upon to come and help my folks with. But, you know, give it another 5-10 years, and I may be in the point of like actually taking care of them. So, you know, it's a thing, you know, it's not easy, but really the person that's having it the worst right now is my mom. You know, and I don't want to get like super serious on the show, but I know that my mom had made the comment to my sister at one point last time they were down in Tennessee visiting them that she's losing my dad.
Mm.
And I get that, because the worst part of all of this, I think, for her is that she doesn't lose them all at once, where she can just like grieve him and get over it and move on. It's like she's losing them in little bits and pieces. So
that's got to be even harder, I would imagine, just to see him.
Yeah, and I can't imagine because imagine being in the grieving process all the time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it right there.
So
and the thing too is like sometimes with Parkinson's, like on your trip, you see glimpses of the former.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you get, and that's got to make it even worse. It's like you get, oh, he's back, and you know that I can't even imagine the roller coaster that's got to be.
Yeah.
And your parents have been together for a long time.
Oh yeah, I hate to do the math on this, but it's approaching 50 years that they've been married. So
goodness,
I think because I'm 45 and they had me about 2 years after they got married, so they'd be somewhere around 47 or 48 years that they've been married. So, and their anniversary is on the 5th of October.
There you go.
And it's the only reason that I can remember it's the same day Steve Jobs died, because I just relate the two. Because I remember when Steve Jobs died, and I was like, oh, this sucks. This is awful. And then I looked at my calendar. I was like, oh, it's my mom and dad's anniversary. I should call them. So it's like I got this memory of these two things kind of being related. So, but no, I was their second anniversary gift. So
there you go.
Yeah, and if you ever want to have anything ruined for you, my mom told me, yeah, you were a New Year's baby.
Hey,
it's like, oh,
so was I.
I'm like,
I was just more on time than you were.
I was like, Mom, why did you do that to me? You've totally ruined New Year's for me forever now.
Yeah. I'm September 15th, so yep. I was on time. You were late, sir.
Yeah. I think I was a couple weeks late.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my dad has in detail. And I'm like, Dad, I want to throw up.
Please stop this.
I'm everything on my insides wants to be on my outsides now with all the details that you shared. So please never again bring this subject up ever right. in the course of our lives.
Yeah. I do not need to know when I was conceived. That's for sure. At one point, my wife and I were having a conversation. I was like, you realize nobody that we know has sex, just us. Nobody, because I don't want to think about that.
I still don't know how to transition out of this. Can we just pick a different topic, please?
I'm telling you, we should do these after dark shows more often. It's good stuff. Oh, what was another topic you wanted to talk about tonight?
Anything else. I'll even talk on politics. That's how desperate I am to get away from this.
So how do you feel about inflation?
Not a fan. Not a fan.
Not at all. I filled up the gas tank this morning at what was it, $3.89 a gallon? Yeah. I don't know what it's like down in Illinois by you.
Well, I have the great pleasure of having a vehicle that requires premium gas.
So what are you, like $10 a gallon?
No, never got that bad, thankfully. But the other day, took my kid to school and I was like, wow, I'm at a quarter tank. I should fill up. So I pull up Gas Buddy and it's like, like $4.19 is the lowest I can find.
Yep.
All right. Okay. That, you know what? Not cheap, but I'll drive the mile and a half to get at the cheap one. I show up, $4.49. Well, that's 30 cents off. All right, go to the next gas station. That one's 30 cents off. Go to the next, like everything, like it had jumped 30 cents overnight because all the prices were yesterday's prices. So overnight it had jumped up 30 cents a gallon. So I was aggressively filling my tank at $4.69 a gallon because I was like, I'm not going to a fifth gas station. I'm just going to bite the bullet. And so I put like, a half a tank in because I was like, I'm not filling up on this. It's going to come back down. It will. And it was like that guy at the gas station at like 8:45 in the morning. I was like, this is not a way to start a Tuesday. It's just not.
Yeah.
But.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. So how are your Brewers doing?
Still zeros.
What inning?
No score. Bottom of the 6th. That was a pitcher's duel tonight, so it makes sense. So we'll see what happens. They would have totally won last night if it wasn't for a grand slam in like the bottom of the 8th or the top of the 8th or something like that. It was they were leading the game all the way up until the top of the 8th.
Oh man!
But no, they're doing okay. They've been putting people on. They've had guys on base, but that's been the thing that's been killing them recently. Is they get guys on base and they just can't get them home. So, but
gotta bring them home.
Yep,
it's the name of the game.
That is the name of the game. It's home ball. Get them home.
Okay. All right. Fun game.
Okay.
Here's what we're going to do.
All right.
We didn't know what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do.
Okay.
We're going to take sports and we're going to give them the names they should actually have. Because we all know that football is the worst name for American football.
Right.
The foot is the part of the body that touches the ball the least.
Exactly.
That's why soccer is called football.
Yeah.
Because that's actually accurate. So let's play this game, Mitch.
Yeah. So
we've got.
What do we call football?
We call it
rugby.
No, we call it macho oval ball touchdown makers. No, okay, that
seems very complicated.
That doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
No,
we agree that football is a bad name.
Mm-hmm.
So we should call it touchdown ball.
Touchdown ball. That's not funny, but it's actually accurate.
It's accurate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I guess we can go with that. Touchdown ball. I was thinking of some other things.
We don't want to be too descriptive, as my first suggestion was, which was terrible. Yeah. Touchdown ball.
Yeah. I was trying to think of some other ones, but that's...
Well, all right, so what do we call hockey?
Hockey? The thing of it is I like hockey.
I know.
That works.
But it only means something. Puck ball. Yeah, there's another word you need a very strong letter in. P. Hit the plosive. Puck ball. No, because it's not a ball, it's a puck. So we could call it puck net.
Stick puck.
Stick puck net. Stick puck net. Stick. Yes. Hi, my name is Cam. I'm a professional stick puck net player. It's only silly because it's new.
Yeah.
Hockey was just as silly.
Yep.
150 years ago. Stick puck net.
Stick puck net. I like
one word, like it's a town in Massachusetts. Stick puck net.
Stick puck net. Stick puck net, Massachusetts.
Population 412. All right, so we got football, we got hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Soccer's already done for us with football. Right?
Yep.
So stick puck net, touchdown ball, football.
Yep.
Basketball?
I
mean, that one was accurate when the game began because it was a basket that you put a ball in.
Correct. Maybe netball would be slightly more accurate now.
Or boom shakalaka. He's heating up.
I have no idea.
For all the 90s kids out there, that was for you.
Oh, Brewers just scored. Up 1-0.
Oh, that leads us to baseball.
Yeah, baseball.
What are we going to call baseball?
Home ball wasn't the worst.
No. Stick ball is what you call it when you play in the streets for whatever reason. Oh, yeah, those street stickball players.
Yeah.
Watch out for them.
It's a lot of finger snapping.
Because when you're a jet, you're a jet.
All right.
I mean, I like home ball, grand slam ball,
home ball.
Or how about this? None of our stadiums are the same size ball.
There you go.
What are regulation field sizes? ? Ball.
How does that even work?
It's like imagine.
How's that even fair?
I know we're being silly, but imagine the NFL had the same rules as baseball when it came to field dimension sizes.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Ford Field, home of the Detroit Lions, where the field is 420 yards long and only 10 yards wide. Eat on that, boys. It's so dumb. Well, I don't understand how that's still a thing.
You know, the worst is Fenway. Like, have you watched a game at Fenway?
I mean, on TV. I've never been there, but yeah.
Well, so I appreciate the fact that the green wall is a big deal. But
Green Monster, but yes.
Green Monster, I'm sorry. But it's like you can play the ball off the wall. And you can't do that in any other park in the league. And there's like no outfield.
Yeah,
I mean, you can
spit, a home run here.
You can spit on the Green Monster from the infield. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just weird, man. It's just weird. Or like imagine the NBA, Chicago Bulls, United Center, 3-point line, 56 feet from the basket. No. Yeah. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense.
It's weird. I don't know where to go from here.
Well, welcome to how I felt 10 minutes ago.
So, do you want to talk about why you're riding high tonight?
Not because of drugs.
No.
Not. No. I don't do those.
Although there's probably some endorphins involved.
Well, yeah.
Some adrenaline, a little dopamine.
So, do I want to talk? I will just say this.
Yeah, you don't have to go into detail or reveal anything personal.
I have, in recent weeks, started dipping my toe into the terrifying waters of online dating, which the last time I was dating weren't a thing that I know of, at least. Maybe they were. I don't know. I was too young. But I had a very enjoyable conversation with a woman that I met, and it went well, and we laughed a lot, and it was fun, and that's why I'm a little excited tonight, because I haven't felt that way in a while, and it's a good feeling.
It's definitely like, I've been married 21 years, and I would say the thing that I miss most about that, the dating scene, which, by the way, I would hate the dating scene right now. But the thing that I enjoyed the most was that like high that you get when you've met the girl, you've spent some time with her, like you're just in that like infatuation stage, and it's just good. Like there's something so pure and enjoyable about that.
What it is hope, right? Like if you had to put a name to it, like not puppy love, but like it's. Especially someone in my context that has been married and has been divorced and has gone through all of that crap, right?
Yeah.
In how it ends. To just have a glimmer of hope and to meet someone that's like, wow, you're intelligent, you're well spoken, you're funny. You seem to have you're easy to talk to. You laugh at stupid, silly things. Like we see eye to eye on, things that are important, like faith and church. And we have similar histories, good and bad. Just like, because when you feel so alone and lonely, which are different feelings, right?
Right.
It's easy to be like, well, I missed the boat. It's not going to happen again. There's not going to be, the right and who knows, like, this may not be a thing. It may be a thing. Like, the future is the future. We'll figure it out as it goes. But like, just to have that time to connect with somebody new and just be like, it's just really enjoyable to talk to another human that thinks you're kind of okay. And just and share stories and learn about each other and, find out what you have in common and what you don't and laugh about that. And just all of that of just getting to know somebody it just feels good. And there's life and there's hope in that, whatever you want to call it, that moment, those moments.
And it's hard to describe, but it makes it that much more enjoyable when it happens to be somebody of the opposite sex.
This is true.
That you might,
it's been a while
might have
since
a relationship with.
Mitch, so
it's good.
But so if I seem extra peppy tonight or a little more excited, it's because I had a really enjoyable conversation with a lovely person, and now I'm having an enjoyable conversation with another lovely person, but for very different purposes.
Oh, yeah. I'm not looking to date you, just for the record.
I'm kind of glad that we're on the same page there.
Good. Well, I'm happy for you, man. I know that it's been a journey, so it's good.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but worst comes to worst, I met a really cool person.
Right.
And that's how I'm going to.
And she made you feel good. So, Yep. So, what did you do for your birthday?
My birthday was on a Thursday. So I took Thursday and Friday off because why not?
Right.
I bought myself a really nice bottle of scotch. I usually don't buy scotch because it's really expensive. It's really good and I enjoy it. But like, if you want a good, like just a basic bottle of scotch that tastes good, you're looking at $40 to $50.
Right.
So I splurged and sent 65, which I can't justify outside of once a year on my birthday,
right?
Because that's just a silly amount of money to spend on something you do not need, right? So I bought myself a nice bottle of scotch. Two of the pastors at the church came over to my house for lunch. They brought me Chipotle. We ate outside. Actually had a very, very good talk about kind of where I'm going, ministry wise and work wise, and what what they see in me. And so it was just a time where they just kind of poured into me, and we had some really honest and open feedback about, where they think I would fit best in the future, with the skills and the passions that I have. And it was really, really good because it was a conversation that I needed to hear, from the sense that it gave me permission to start pursuing full-time ministry elsewhere, because it's never going to happen here for a slew of reasons, which I don't need to get into, all of which are good and reasonable and, understandable reasons. But even my pastor was like, look, I would be a bad leader if I tried to keep you here, if I'm not going to give you, or if we can't give you the opportunity for you to do what you're good at. If I'm going to let you teach, 14 times a year at Bible study, I'm using 5% of your gifting. He's like, it would be selfish of me to try and keep you here when I know that you could go to another church that can pay you and you can support your family through, and you can do full-time ministry if I just keep you here to teach Bible study every other week for half a year.
And that's good.
Yeah. And it was one of those, like, I think he's always seen that in our relationship. And I've always thought, no, I'm staying. And it was the first time that we've had that conversation where I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not staying. Because I love it here. Mm-hmm. It's a great church. It's a wonderful people. And it would be comfortable for me to stay.
Yeah.
And I like being comfortable.
Well, and I think that if I can give you just a tad bit of counsel on this, you have to be following God's will in it. And if God's going to take you somewhere else, then you follow him. Yeah. But, we spent a lot of time at our church talking about, like, even the church that you go to is very much ordained by God, and so because you're not intended to go to the church and just sit in the pew and consume and then go home. Anybody who is going to a church should be involved in some way, shape, or form in the ministry of the church.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's some exceptions to that of maybe some newer people that are in the church or maybe some baby Christians that are in the church. But if you've been in the church for more than a year or two and you're not involved in a ministry, you've got to question, are you where you're supposed to be? So, but yeah. So, I mean, 100%, you got to follow God on that. And if God's got you, where you're supposed to be right now, the money doesn't matter.
Well, yeah. And that's the thing for me, and part of the conversation was, I have a full-time job. I serve at the church in addition to my, my 9 to 5. And that's been fine. And has been a blessing to me and the church because I get paid not church money, which is a bonus. And I get to provide healthcare for my daughter, but I also get to serve, and lead and have responsibility and input and all of that stuff. That's wonderful. But at the same time, I'm so done with the day job.
Yeah.
It's, and so I have to, because my tendency is to like wait, and then just full speed, at what and so I've been waiting a lot. And my concern is that I'll see one good opportunity and just, like a cheetah, just take off without taking the time to say, okay, God, I see an opportunity. I've been waiting. I should probably continue to wait until, and just have that more mature and patient approach to it. And so, I'm doing my due diligence and looking for what's out there, what opportunities are open. And one of the blessings of living in the Chicago area is there are thousands of churches. I don't want to work at most of them, but there's probably a couple dozen that I would feel comfortable, working at, serving at. And so I'm doing my due diligence to look and to search, and then trying to take the moments to pause and be like, okay, I see a great opportunity. I'm going to wait on God before I click the apply button. Because my tendency, like I said, is just, apply, send. It's just, no, okay, found a good job. Looks like a good church. Looks like a good fit from a skill and experience perspective. I'm just going to continue to wait.
And see, I've taken a slightly different approach, because, obviously I've talked about how, I'm not super happy with where I'm at. I do feel like it's where God wants me right now because, I've taken the tact of, Lord, I'm going to give you a door to open. It's your job to open it. So I will apply for the job. I will even do interviews if I'm called to do the interviews. But I always pray, God, close the door if you don't want me there. If this isn't where you want, I'm going to do the legwork that I need to do to make sure that door's ready to be opened if you want to open it. But what I'm not going to do is take the job or try to force my way into this position. If this is you open the door, I'll walk through. But if it's not, just shut the door. I don't want to be outside of your will, but I also want to make sure that if there's something that you have, a blessing that you have for me, that I give you the opportunity to give it to me. So I don't think applying for the work is the bad thing. I think it's really important to basically be, hey, if this is where you want me, make it happen. If it's not, close that door hard, like slam it shut.
I totally agree with you. I just know for me in this moment, I'm so eager to leave behind and move on that I know that I need to, for my own benefit, pump the brakes a bit. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll apply for 45 jobs.
Right.
You know, and I think just for me, this time has been patience and waiting and in learning to be okay and like being okay with the tension and learning how to live in the tension of like, I'm blessed. I have a good job. It's easy. I get paid well. I can take care of my daughter and myself. It's from a worldly perspective, I'm in a good position, right?
But I would love to be in your position, honestly.
So I do feel a bit of tension in that of like, I don't want to be ungrateful for what I've been given, you know, but at the same time, if I'm doing this in 2 more years, I'm going to be miserable.
Yeah.
Because it's just not life-giving in any regards. The people I work with are lovely, great individuals. And, you know, but like the work, I just don't care. And I really hope no one at my job ever hears this episode. Yeah. But so I'm trying to balance I don't want to be ungrateful for what I have because it is a blessing. I want to pursue what I think is a better fit for me, but I don't want to rush into anything because that's my tendency is to just first exit off the highway and just go. And so I'm trying to balance that desire to find the next thing with also the ability to be patient and to wait. Because I feel like that's really what God has been impressing on me, even through all the stuff with, you know, the divorce and it's just a lot of just being patient. And you know, when you're in your mid 30s, you feel like you're in your prime. And so being patient is not what you want to be. You just want to go out there and conquer the world, you know, and that's a whole nother deal, but that's where I'm at with all that.
Yeah. And I think that, and I don't know that this plays into a whole lot of where you're at, but I oftentimes, treated my work life like there was a point in which I was going to arrive at something. And I've learned over the years that's a false thing that I felt like I needed. And what it really come down to now for me is if the job pays my bills, that's what I'm there for. You know, it's everything outside of work that matters. You know, my work itself, you know, that's a means to an end for me right now. And hopefully at some point I would love to see that change because I'd love my work to become what I'm passionate about, you know, along with my family and everything. And that's part of the reason why, you know, I've started the biblical counseling training is because that's something that I could really love to do. And I think I could do well at. But at the same time, like one of the first sessions we had, he's like, don't think you're going to make money on this. You know, don't go into, and his point was don't go into it because you want to make a livable wage on it. You know, that's not the purpose for this. The purpose for this is because you love people and you want to help people.
Yeah.
And what they do, which I find interesting, and it certainly would be a, you know, trusting God a lot, is they take donations for their time. You know, so if they're going to do counseling, they basically say, hey, pay what you think I'm worth to you. You know, whatever donation you want to give the ministry, give us that donation. But otherwise, you're not paying for my time. You know, you're just paying whatever you think the donation's worth. He's like, you make a decent amount of money at that, but obviously you're never going to get rich off of that, and that's not my point either. If I can make a livable wage to take care of my family and maybe have a little bit extra to squirrel away for retirement, that's as much as I need, in my life. So, but yeah. So I had to laugh a little bit when you were talking about the scotch. And man, I did $65, for this bottle of scotch. By the way, I have never been able to really get into scotch or alcohol in general from a like you're gonna drink it straight and really appreciate the smoky flavor and all that kind of stuff. Like I've never understood that, and maybe like I just haven't been exposed to the right things. But I did buy something for my birthday, and it's becoming a tradition. Last year,
did you get what I think you got?
What do you think I got?
Did you get absinthe again?
No. That I've actually had a couple bottles of that now, and I really like it. But no, last year I got a project, and I built this. This is the ship. I forget the name of it now. The ship from the Bad Batch. That I got the Lego model of that and built that. So that was my birthday last year. I actually took the day off, and I spent like 5 or 6 hours building this and just enjoying that. So this year, I got me another Lego set. This is the BD-1 droid. It says it's from Jedi Fallen Order, but it also had talked about, or it had in the description that it was from the Book of Boba Fett, which I think it might be the same model of droid, but this droid is adorable. So
am I reading that correctly? 1,062 pieces?
There's 1,062 pieces.
How big is that?
I don't know, but when I'm done building it, I will share it with you so you can see how big it is.
I find that hard to believe that there's more than 100 pieces in that.
Yep, but 1,062 pieces. It is a 14 plus, so I would have to be at least 14 years old to build this, and I qualify for that. So. by about 31 years. But I'm looking forward to breaking that open tomorrow and spending some good quality time with Lego. So it's good stuff. But yeah, I think that's going to start being my birthday tradition, to be able to sit down, even if it's a smaller build, but sit down with a new Lego set and build something. So
there you go.
Yeah. Excited about that.
Next year, you'll have to get yourself a Lego and some scotch.
Maybe. We'll see. Might have to get a recommendation for a good scotch to see if I can learn to enjoy scotch. It seems like with my background, I should be able to. But, which, by the way, my sister was all about this while we were on vacation. Apparently, my dad got a book from an aunt of mine that claimed that we are related to Theodore Roosevelt. So my sister, the whole time we were in South Dakota, of course, Theodore Roosevelt is one of them that's on the on Mount Rushmore. Mm-hmm. So she was like looking at people going, "Hey, that's my Uncle Teddy up there."
Yes. Hello, my name is Mitchell Craig of the Roosevelt Craigs. Pleased to meet you.
So I'm looking at making a shirt for her for Christmas that says, "Ask me about my Uncle Teddy." And I was trying to come up with a good graphic to put on it and all that kind of stuff. But we'll have to look and see. But right now it's gonna end up costing me like $50 to do this from what I've looked at. But because I got to buy the graphic and then I got to have the shirt made and all that kind of stuff. But could be fun.
It'll be worth it. Totally worth it.
It'll be good.
just to hear her eyes roll.
I might actually get a couple of them. We'll see. Get a couple different colors and like give one to my dad and maybe have one for myself. I don't know. We'll see. It's funny. So cool.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I liked it.
That was a good show. We need to not plan more often and then have it at night where we're both maybe a little tired and maybe have just a bit of alcohol.
The whimsy of spontaneity is always fun.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down with that.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my name is Cam Brennan. You can find me at cambrennan.com.
Oh, we have to do this first. If you would like to know more about us or find more our back catalog,
I was trying to mix it up and do it different.
You can find us at innerdialogue.show. We are the Inner Dialogue podcast. You can find me at mitchcraig.online. I'm also on Twitter at Mitch Craig. I've been checking that a little bit more often. So hit me up if you have any questions, comments, or tomfoolery that you want us to be involved in.
Ooh.
And Cam, where can people find you?
CamBrennan.com.
And at a wedding tomorrow.
And at a wedding tomorrow, yes. But you can give all your tomfoolery to Mitch. I don't want any of it.
I'm down for tomfoolery, so we're good.
Now, if you're up to hijinks, then you can include me.
So you're a hijinks person. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, very cool, man. It's been fun. Like I said, my schedule changed at work. So I'm getting off at 7, 4 out of the 5 days a week. So I'm down to do these night shows every once in a while if we want to do that.
Sounds like a plan.
Although I see you yawning over there, so.
Well, yeah, that would be because my dog woke me up at 4 a.m. And I shouldn't say my dog woke me up. I should say the smell of his poop woke me up.
Oh, no.
So I took him out of his kennel, took the liner outside to hose it down in the backyard. I come back inside and he has diarrheaed all over my kitchen floor at 4 in the blessed a.m.
So my boy cat, Schroeder, likes to wake me up at 4 o'clock nearly every morning, 4:30. But he comes to snuggle, so not to poop on me. So that's good.
It was everywhere.
And
not just a little bit. It was one of those like, God, what did I do to deserve? And oh man,
what is wrong with your dog?
I think he must have ate something in the backyard because is the only time this has never happened before.
Mm-hmm.
He's thrown up once or twice, but like this was like he had like frozen Mexican dinner from like 3 years ago. Bad.
So explosive.
Yeah. Oh man. So he must have eaten something outside that. Yeah. Now I'm not sure why we need to just stop. This is no one. I have ruined a good show in the way that my dog ruined my good sleep. Now I feel bad.
You're identifying with the listeners because all our listeners have probably all had issues like this before. I have a cat that likes to poop on the floor regularly. So things happen.
I don't think this is better, Mitch. I don't think we're making this better.
All right. So you're saying we should just bail out of this one?
Yep. We're just gonna, hard stop, hit, and it'll be fine.
Cam, it's been fun.
That's one word. Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you for a good show. And you have a good night, sir.
You as well.